Cycle safety has been in the news recently with the memorial of a death and DCC and NZTA efforts to make city cycleways safer. Cycle advocacy group Spokes has been involved as these events have unfolded, and Secretary Dr Robert Thompson is here with his thoughts. Good evening, Robert.
Good evening.
It was an emotional memorial this week. What were your thoughts on what you saw?
Well, Spokes has been planning to do some kind of memorial event for Dr. He for some time, and I've been organizing it over the past few weeks and spoke to his widow, and so I've been thinking about him quite a lot over the last few weeks, and it was great to see the turnout that we had. We had students of his, colleagues of his, some students that weren't here when he was killed last year, so they couldn't attend the funeral, so they were quite happy to have another thing that they could attend and remember him. We had a lot of other people, business leaders. John Christie was there, a lot of other leaders in the community. So it was great to see all those people there, people that knew him, people that didn't know him. And I think there's a sort of broad consensus that he was an outstanding member of the community. And we've had several of these kind of deaths over the last few years. And these people are our friends, our neighbors, our colleagues, our family members. And there's no reason that they should be killed on the road like that, and it's entirely preventable. And I think there's a growing consensus that we can do better.
Now, the message from politicians was about the importance of cycle safety. Are you happy with where the DCC and the NZTA are at in terms of improving safety?
Yes, I am. I think over the past few years, the city's understanding and conception of cycleways and cycling in the city has really matured. You know, the beginning position of some painted cycle lanes on the road has given way to this idea that we can do better than that.
What was Spokes' involvement in the plan for separated cycle lanes?
Okay, that's a good question, and I'm glad you asked that, because a lot of people have been saying, for example, in the newspaper, you know, why isn't the AA involved with the working group that we've been involved with? And let me first say that this is definitely an NZTA and a DCC project. And at this stage, what the working group has been looking at and what they were asked to look at by the council was to look at ways for improving cycle safety. And so it's a very cycling-specific project. And at this stage of the program, which is a very long-term program, we're talking years. This is not something that's going to show up overnight. So at this stage of the program, it is, like I said, it's very cycling specific, and it's about route choice, which roads are we going to send cyclists on, and what kind of infrastructure, what kind of treatment are we going to use. So Spokes' role in that has been rather sort of technical in nature, in that the transport people at the DCC and NZTA are great, but this kind of infrastructure that the City Council asked for hasn't been done in New Zealand. So we have to look elsewhere, and they don't really have that kind of experience. And so they've got volunteers like us who are able to go and look and see what else is being done around the world, look at the best practice, look at the mistakes that people have made, look at what works and what doesn't work, and bring that here and talk about it in the Dunedin context.
Do separated lanes make a difference?
Absolutely. They make a huge difference. And they're being put in lots of places around the world. Not just in Europe, but in North America, New York, Chicago, even smaller cities like Portland, Oregon, Boulder, Colorado, Mexico City, places which have historically been very heavily car dependent, and which you don't think of as being very cycling friendly places. A lot of traffic, a lot of congestion, a lot of parking problems, and they work. And not only do they work, but every year they get year-on-year increases. The number of people using them goes up, and the number of injuries and fatalities actually goes down. So they absolutely work.
Secretary for Spokes, Dr Robert Thompson, thanks very much for your time.
Thank you.